Hello friends, this is tutorial number 78 in this C++ programming language course. In this tutorial we will talk about preprocessor directives, and I will show you how it works. For example, we want to print something. I will try to print X. And line, and now, but I didn't define X as a variable. It's not a variable, or we don't even have type of the variable, we don't have anything. And if I want to run the program, it will not run because of error. We didn't declare X. And how can we print X and if we didn't define it as a variable? I will show you. We will write here, we need a hashtag, we will define X with 5. Now let's try to run the program again. As you can see, we have printed X. It's not a variable, but here we define it with 5, which is great. Now I will show you one more thing. We can write if not defined. For example, it will run if not defined X, and it will end with end if. We will define X with 10. This will define X as 10 only in case that X is not defined earlier. But we have here we define X as a 5, and if we print this X again, our output will be 5 because X is already defined. But now I will delete this line of code, define X as a 5, and now if I run this program again, my output will be 10, because if X is not defined, will be defined as 10. As you can see, it is pretty much simple. We also can use this to define some functions. I will show you. I will define, and this function will be maximum, and it will have parameters X and Y. I will delete this X. And we need to define this function. For example, if X is greater than Y, it will return us X, otherwise will return Y. Now let's try to print this function. We will see out maximum, and we need two numbers, for example 20 and 10. We need end line. Now it will be printed maximum of these two numbers, and if I run this program, our output should be 20. Okay, it's great. Now we can change the numbers. Now I will change second number, and instead of 20 I will type 24, and we will see our output now. It should be 24. As you can see, it works properly. Also, we can define a minimum function. It will be vice versa function, x and y as the parameters, and we will write if x is lesser than y, will return x, otherwise it will return y. Now we can use same numbers, and we will use a minimum function, and we will see our output. We have a numbers 20 and 24. Our output should be 20. Okay, it's great. And I can also change the numbers. I will type second number will be 11, and now my output should be 11. It works great. Now I will show you one more example. I can delete this now. We will define some function. It will be a message, for example. We want to print some text, and our parameter can be x, for example. And we want to return a string. If we want to return a string, okay, it's a message function. We need to type hashtag and x. This means that it will return a string. And let's call this function. Let's print this function. Cout. Let's call message function, and we will type some text. For example, hello world. But we are typing without quotes. We will type we can type a text or number without quotes. Why without quotes? Because with this hashtag x, it will return us a string. And I forgot end line, and we will see our output. It should be hello world. As you can see, it works properly. And if we can type with double quotes, but also double quotes will be printed. Okay, we inside the bracket we don't need to type double quotes, because we already defined this function that will return a string. Of course, we can type another some sentence. My name is Milan, and it will be printed. It will return me this string. My name is Milan. And also we can type numbers. For example, 125. It will return that number, but it will return it as a string. It will not be an integer. We can type or sentence or numbers, but string will be returned. Okay, I really hope that you like this tutorial. If you like this tutorial, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram. You have a link in the description, and I will see you in the next tutorial.